The story of today's film is not just a film. Today we'll narrate a dream story of people. A dream that billions of people have chased in the past, are chasing in the present and will chase in the future. However, this film has beautifully brought out the tough reality that lurks behind this dream. As humans, each of us should watch this film, because we all are constantly chasing dreams. So I request you to watch the entire video without skipping, and if you are new to our channel, please subscribe to it. So, let's not delay any further, and delve into the main story of the film. A village in Turkey, all the people of the village were coming together to celebrate a festival. They were engrossed in various forms of dance and music. In the midst of all this, we see the main character of this film, Haydar. He was talking to his friend Jamal. Jamal was about to leave for Switzerland in a few days. Haydar was curious and asked him how he was planning to go. Jamal assured him that he had a reliable means to reach there and that he could go without taking any risk. Haydar was originally a sheep herder, and his family lived by rearing these sheep. Haydar always had a dream in the midst of this lack of life. Haydar returns home, and we can see that he had many children. As soon as the children see their father, they run towards him. But Haydar got very upset and chased them away. Haydar enters the room and immediately comes out again. Then he goes to a high place and sits alone, and he glances at the dusty edge. Seeing him, we can understand that he is contemplating something. Actually, he dreams of a better life. Like his friend Jamal, Haydar is also planning to go to Switzerland. As night falls, we see Haydar discussing this matter with his wife. However, his wife is not willing to agree to leave their children behind and go to Switzerland, but Haydar wants to go with his wife, meaning, both of them want to go together, leaving their children with their grandparents. Unlike Haydar, his wife is not able to accept this idea from the heart. She cannot bring herself to leave their children behind, but Haydar tries hard to make his wife understand. The next morning, Haydar is working in the fields, when his children come running towards him. Children inform Haydar that Jamal has sent a letter. Haydar's youngest child reads the letter aloud, stating that Jamal uncle is very good there. Switzerland is truly a paradise. Upon hearing this, Haydar's dreams grow even stronger. After returning home, he discusses this matter with all the family members. He expresses his desire to go to Switzerland. Just hearing this, Haydar's father becomes upset. He says that leaving the children here, how will Haydar manage to go to Switzerland? His father is concerned about the future of his children, and he said to Haydar, the amount of money it will take to go to Switzerland, where do you get that money? Haydar insists that he will sell their horse and cows. Just hearing this, his father becomes even more upset. He advises Haydar not to forget their homeland and their family, emphasizing that forgetting one's family can never lead to a good outcome. However, Haydar seems determined to go to Switzerland. The next morning comes and Haydar is seen to have gone out with his horse and cows to go somewhere. He left for a distant market to sell the horse and cows. His father was sitting there. He tells Haydar, if you are going to sell the horses and cows, then go, but to make sure you get a good price for them. Haydar goes to the market and sells the horse and cows. Then, he visits a local market and stands in front of a gold shop and admiring the jewelry inside. He purchases a golden bangle for his wife, and he also buys some chocolates from a nearby store. After returning home, he distributes the items he bought from the market to his children, and additionally, he gives to his wife the bangle as a token of his affection. The entire family is overjoyed. The next day, it is noticed that Haydar has also sold all their livestock. Now, there is nothing left for them. Taking all the money, Haydar goes with his wife to the local broker, who will arrange everything for sending them to Switzerland. The broker explains all the details, including their passports, very thoroughly. Haydar hands over all the money to the broker and leaves from there. Meryem does not trust the broker for some unknown reason, so Haydar reassures his wife, emphasizing that his cousin Jamal used this person's services to go to Switzerland. Since returning home, Meryem has been very upset. It's very painful for her to think about separating from her own children. Meryem is going through various emotional conflicts, and she discusses this matter with her husband. Meryem tells Haydar, I won't go anywhere leaving my children. Haydar responds, have you gone mad? Everything is ready, now you say this? A conflict arises between Meryem and Haydar regarding this matter, and one point Haydar got angry and he threw away all the money and came out of there. Then we can see, Haydar silently sits with his father at one place. His father tells him, at least take one child with you, it will make Meryem feel better. Haydar says, all the children are equal for me, so whom should I take with us? Haydar's father suggests, take Ali with you. Haydar agrees to his father's suggestion, and he decides to take Ali with them. Next, we can see Haydar adoring all his children, and in this way, they spend time together for the last time. The next day, Haydar, along with his little son Ali and Meryem, they all sets out. They were heading towards Istanbul. Inside the bus, someone was observing them. Haydar could sense this, but he doesn't dwell on it too much. The bus keeps moving and they are gradually approaching Istanbul. After a considerable bus journey, they finally reach Istanbul. Meryem and Ali have never seen a city before, they have grown up in the village. Seeing such a big city makes them very happy. According to the address given by the broker in their village, they meet with a person in Istanbul. This person had prepared Haydar and his wife's passports. The person also gives some notes of Swiss currency to Haydar, and in return, he takes a significantly larger amount in Turkish currency from Haydar. But without accepting this exchange, Haydar has nothing more to do with this matter. Then the person takes Haydar to the dock to board the ship. Meryem was waiting at the dock with Ali, but when the broker looks at Ali, he says, this is impossible. Only the two of you have passports and tickets here, your child cannot go with you. Haydar and Meryem begged the broker to arrange to take Ali with them. Then the broker told them, then you have to go another way, but there are many risks. Haydar and Meryem are willing to take this risk. They are then seen being brought to a much larger ship on a speedboard. Ali is accompanying them. Another man puts them inside a container and closes the door of the container from outside. Meryem becomes very frightened, and she tells Haydar that if they forget they are inside the container, only God knows what awaits us in our destiny. After some times, a crane arrives and lifts the container. Their luck was not so bad here. A ship worker escorts them off the ship. The worker provides his own room to Haydar and Meryem to stay. Actually, this ship is heading towards the city of Milan in Italy. However, before leaving the room, the worker had informed them that they should never leave the room. As soon as the ship arrived at the port of Milan, they are once again taken to the port on a speedboat. Meryem was very worried, but Haydar comforts her and reassures her, we are going to start a beautiful life, don't be afraid. Seeing the bright surroundings, Ali feels very happy. Later, it is shown that the ship's broker is negotiating with a truck driver to take Haydar and his family to Switzerland. However, this truck driver is demanding 300 euros from each person, but the amount of money was quite high. But without accepting this, Haydar has no other option, so he hands over the accumulated money to the truck driver, and they embark on the truck with the intention of reaching Switzerland. The truck starts moving, and Ali is amazed and looks outside. Meanwhile, the morning light has spread outside. The little boy Ali mischievously interacts with the truck driver, but the truck driver takes it positively. The language of communication between Haydar and the truck driver was different. Despite this, Haydar tried to convey in his own language where they were going, or where they had come from. And gradually, a positive relationship developed among them. After some times, they stopped at a restaurant for breakfast. The truck driver taught Ali how to eat with a spoon. Actually, this man was very humorous and friendly, and he also liked the little boy Ali. After finishing the breakfast, everyone took a group photo. Even Ali takes a photo of the truck driver. However, the truck driver covers all the bills. Essentially, this driver was a very kind-hearted person. Then the truck started moving again towards Switzerland. While on the move, they reached the border of Italy and Switzerland. But this time luck was not on their side. The Swiss border guards did not grant them permission to enter. The truck driver tried hard to explain to the officers, but it was of no use. In the end, the truck driver wrote down an address for Haydar. Moreover, the money that Haydar had given as rent to the truck driver, he returns it all to Haydar. The truck driver writes down an address for Haydar, where they can get help when they arrive. After that, they boarded the train to Milan, and they arrive at Milan's mini station. According to the address given by the truck driver, they search for a person. After a brief search, they find the person. They take a car and head to a broker's house. Everyone here is a broker. They work to send people to different countries. These people started making fun of Haydar, and finally, They agree to send Haydar to Switzerland, but they demand a significant amount of money in exchange. The total amount they demand is much more than what Haydar has, because most of the money he had has already been spent. However, they keep Haydar's passport in their possession. Haydar returns to the station again with his wife and child, and they decide to spend the night there. The little boy Ali is already asleep in his mother's lap. In an unfamiliar country, an unfamiliar place, they are uncertain about what to do. At that moment, they notice a person in the distance. They had seen this person on the bus when they were coming to Istanbul. The person can recognize Haydar and approaches them. This individual is essentially heading to Switzerland just like them. As we know, Haydar doesn't have the required money with him, therefore he is compelled to sell the gold jewelry, which he had bought for his wife at a local shop. They receive some money in exchange for it. However, when they take that money to the broker, the man informs him that there is only half of the expected amount. They will need to pay double the amount. At that moment, the person from the bus steps forward to help Haydar. He hands over the remaining money to cover the shortfall, because he is also traveling to Switzerland with them. Then the broker takes them all in a private car and leaves for a place, and they are brought to an abandoned house. There were many people like them in this house, who were all waiting to go to Switzerland. Within moments, a keyword van arrives there, and everyone is immediately herded into the van. Then the keyword van starts moving. A group of dreamers set out to achieve their dreams. They sing and play happily inside the covered van. In this short time they have become like a family. They are all very happy today, because they are on the verge of fulfilling their dreams, and in no time they may reach Switzerland. Then they will be gifted with a better life. Every person is dreaming like this, and the van continues moving. The vehicle stops after crossing a bridge, and there was an elderly person waiting there. This elderly person is primarily a local guide, and it is his responsibility to take these dreamers on the keyword van to Switzerland on the other side of the mountainous country. The elderly person also boards the vehicle with others, and the vehicle starts moving again. As they continue their journey, they are approaching the foothills of the mountains. Everyone starts getting off the van one by one, and each person is packing their bags in their own way. The elderly person gazes into the distant mountains, and he understood that weather is not favorable for them at all. If they can cross the icy mountain pass, they will reach the dreamland. The elderly person tells the van driver, if we go forward in such weather, then it can be called nothing but suicide. No one can go to Switzerland alive from here, everyone will die of cold. But the driver is annoyed to hear the old man's words, and they try to intimidate the old man in various ways and insist on taking everyone to the other side of the mountain. However, the old man remains unwilling. At that moment, the brokers go and convey to everyone that they will be divided into two groups, and each group will go in different directions. If they manage to descend on the other side of the mountain, they will reach Switzerland, and they promise to meet them in Switzerland. These are no obstacles for the dream-seeking people. They all started walking with their luggage, and they were moving forward in a line. Ali sees snow for the first time in his life, and he feels very happy. The surroundings are completely covered with snow in all directions, and nothing in the distance was clearly visible. They face a lot of difficulties climbing the mountain. Some are helping each other generously because climbing this mountain was not an easy task. Everyone began to climb the mountain one by one, and at a certain level, they all reached a high point. However, everyone was quite exhausted. In the midst of it, an elderly person fell ill. Everyone took care of him. After taking some rest, they are moving forward again. As the night wore on, they continued without stopping, hoping to fulfill their dreams. Ignoring the extreme cold, they run after their dreams. As far as the eye can see, only snow-capped mountain ranges stand, which has no leading edges. Right then, a heavy snowstorm has started outside. There is only a whisper in the air. Then they all arrived in a tunnel, and they take a short break here to rest for a while. They try in vain to warm themselves, each in their own way. Meanwhile, Haydar notices the border of Switzerland a little distance away. Those present there gather to make plans. Among them, someone suggests taking a separate route to distract the border guards. At that moment, the middle-aged man says, "I will go. This way, the others can easily enter Switzerland without much trouble." The middle-aged man goes in one direction, while the rest go in the other. However, the border guard dog begins to bark loudly. Because, we all know that a dog's sense of smell and hearing are much stronger than humans. But the border guards can't understand anything. In the midst of this, the dog escapes from there, and the dog tries to intimidate everyone. 2 soldiers come from behind the dog. Frightened, everyone scatters in different directions, trying to blend in. As a result, Haydar and Meryem end up separated. Ali cries, pleading for his mother. At that moment Haydar silences Ali by covering his mouth. On the other side, it's seen that Meryem fell while running. Her legs are stuck in the snow, of which she injured her leg and she can't walk anymore. Then a few people come to Meryem's aid. On the other side, the soldiers have detained the middle-aged man. Haydar tells Ali, "You must not go anywhere from here, I am going to look for your mother." Saying this, Haydar leaves the place. Little boy Ali silently waits there. On the other side, Meryem's condition is truly bad. Her leg is not at all usable for walking. Haydar searches for Meryem all around, but he can't find her anywhere. He calls out to Meryem very slowly, because, if he shouts, he will be caught by the border guards. On the other side, the little boy Ali shivers intensely in the intense cold. He recites a poem taught by his mother, attempting to brave the challenges of winter like he did. However, his hands and feet are getting numb in the cold. After a while, Haydar comes over. Seeing the boy in this condition, the father tries to warm him up. He rubs Ali's head and wraps him in a new warm cloth. Afterwards, the father and son continue their journey. On the other side, Meryem and some others has arrived near a hotel. This hotel is located within Switzerland. They approach a glass wall and see someone bathing in a heated swimming pool inside. Everyone burst into self-screams at the sight of the man. They almost broke down the nearest wall for a little help. Their cries were so intense. The person on the other side of wall, he said that the hotel is now closed and won't reopen. After saying this, the person leaves the place. At that moment, everyone falls into anger and frustration. It seemed like 2 lives on either side of the wall. On one side, people are fighting for survival, and on the other, people are indulging in luxury. Perhaps, this is the reality of our civilized society. However, after some time the police arrive at the hotel. Meryem and others have found refuge there. They are crying and telling the police that many more people are still in the mountains, and they are fighting for their lives. Immediately, several police cars set out to search for them because human life is invaluable in this mountainous region. They prioritize human life above all else. On the other side, Haydar and his son continue to move towards an unknown destination. However, the little boy Ali, his body has given up. Ali falls on the snow at some point, unable to move forward. He desperately calls out to his father. When Haydar turns around, he sees his beloved child lying on the snow. Haydar immediately rushes back to Ali. He tries to console his son. He tells him, "We have almost arrived, just wait for a little while. You don't have to endure this pain anymore." Haydar then lifts Ali onto his shoulders. Since Ali cannot walk alone, Haydar decides to leave the suitcase behind. Holding Ali close, he continues moving forward. Meanwhile, the police persistently follow them, repeatedly urge them to stop. They offer help, but Haydar insists on moving forward. Even in their desperate situation, they manage to light flares in the sky, hoping to find out about the police's whereabouts. However, in this unfamiliar place, Haydar struggles to comprehend anything. He continues to cry out in distress with his son by his side. He keeps crying out while holding his son in her arms. Now she just wants to survive a little longer, and he wants to give some freedom to his little son from this intense cold. On the other hand, treatment is going on in the hotel for Meryem. Meryem is thinking about her husband and son and crying. On the other side, as the night comes to an end, the dawn slowly breaks. A rescue truck rescues some people from the road. Haydar is still walking with his son. In the surroundings, there is chaos, and nothing is visible. After walking for a long time, Haydar can see the truck from a distance. But by then, a lot of delay has occurred. The truck has moved far ahead. Haydar's cries were not heard by the truck driver due to heavy fog. With the lifeless body of his unconscious son in his arms, Haydar can no longer move. Haydar, now very disappointed, sits down there. He holds his son close and continues to cry. In this moment, only this father knows how helpless he is in this world. No other father can understand it. Haydar continues to make efforts to warm Ali. Holding the child close, he cries like a madman. From a distance, a car is seen, and it stops as soon as it reaches Haydar. The person takes Haydar and his son in his car. Later, they head to a local hospital. The doctor quickly takes Ali to a cabin, while Haydar is left outside. The man from the car gives Haydar a warm cloth. In a while, the police arrive there because they have already received the news. The police tell Haydar, "We are glad to have found you, but now you have to come with us. We have some questions for you." Speaking slowly, Haydar says, "I won't go anywhere without my son." The police try to explain a lot to him, but Haydar remains adamant in his decision not to go anywhere without his son. If the police insist, Haydar is likely to react very emotionally. Haydar could not be controlled in any way. At that moment, the police officer told him, "Your son is dead." Just hearing this, Haydar felt as if the whole world had stopped. His body became completely freeze. He slowly walked towards his son's room, and the doctor opened the door to the room for him. Haydar saw his beloved son's lifeless body lying there. Basically, Ali had died within Haydar's arms during the recent events. Haydar, with slow steps, approached his son in the room. Even then, Ali was still holding their family photo in his hand. Haydar reaches out to touch his son's head, crying and saying, "My son, I couldn't save you, forgive me. The unrealistic dreams of an improved life have taken you away from me today." He laments that he couldn't be a good father. Now, Haydar holds Ali's lifeless body, crying out in grief. He expresses his love for Ali in every possible way, as this is their final farewell. The police have taken Haydar to the station, even arrest him in connection with his own son's death. The extent of a person's misfortune is truly profound, and the legal aspect might see Haydar as a criminal. However, the depth of a father's pain is not easily expressed in words. The police bring Haydar to the hotel where his wife Meryem is staying. Haydar goes to Meryem, and she in her grief, searches only for her son Ali. In this part of the film, Meryem's cries are enough to bring tears to your eyes. A mother, when she loses her beloved child, experiences a state of mind that cannot be described by any words in the world. Haydar and Meryem hold on to each other, and they both are continuously crying. Their wailing echoes throughout the entire hotel. Everyone present there becomes overwhelmed with sorrow. Haydar is taken to jail, and what happens with him afterward is unknown to us. We don't know if Haydar achieved that prosperous life or not. This is where the film's story concludes. When you are watching this video of mine, perhaps many people like Haydar are struggling in the sea or on the edge of mountains and jungles, solely in the hope of a better life. People have been doing this for ages, and it will never stop. So friends, this was today's story. If you like it, so please like, comment and share. If you are new to our channel, so subscribe our channel and press the bell icon. See you in the next story. To them, keep loving. Goodbye for today.